Today we'll talk about what all managers and employees they fear and dread, the annual performance review. Before looking into how to actually prepare and conduct this annual performance review, let me lay the foundation. When you're talking to your employees, you need to see the human behind the job. I believe that whenever you do a professional performance review, you need to be human and people-centered. You need to understand that you're dealing with humans and not just machines who are supposed to reach numbers on your bidding. For me, I believe that in order for anybody, any of us to perform just remotely well, we need to have the will to perform. And how do we know if our employees, they have the will to perform, and even more importantly, how can we give them the will to perform? I believe the will to perform comes from two things. It comes from the compatibility between the person's dreams, hopes, values, and the values that the corporation, your company, is having. And this is very important that when we talk about values, we distinguish between what is written in the fancy annual report and the values that the company are actually living, which I call the true values. An employee may choose to work for your company because the website and the annual report and everybody is stating values that are compatible with that person. But after some time, when the employee joins the company and starts working with you and for you, the employee will notice that the values just written are not the true values. The true values are, of course, the way that the company treats people, the way that the company treats the surroundings, the products and customers, everything. And this is the first step. There needs to be a match between what the employee, the person, wants and believes in and what the company wants and believes in. Another part of this is the career path. There has to be a clear career path for everybody so they can see that there is opportunity for them to grow within the company. So this is the first step. There has to be a match between the person and the company. The next step is a match between you and the person. Because I'm speaking to you as I assume that you are line manager or a direct manager for at least a few people. There has to be a match between the person and you, because the person is working with you, for you, seeing you maybe even every day. So the two of you, you have to know how to work together. And if there is a match between you and the person and the company, then I believe there is a strong will to perform. And once the will to perform is there, then you can start looking at the actual performance of the employee. And again here, you need to distinguish between employees who have the skills currently to do what you're expecting from them, and the employees who do not have the skills currently, but have the will and the ability to learn them. And how do you know what skills an employee needs in order for the person to be successful? Yeah, of course, you need to set down targets, performance management targets. And now we are slowly getting into the performance review. If you want to conduct a serious performance review, then of course you need to have some specific and set targets to discuss. You must understand that these specific targets can be anything. A specific target can be a sales target, but it can also be an employee's contribution to the overall society in the company. So yeah, maybe they are not on par with their, let's say, sales targets, but maybe they are performing very well in creating the culture that you wish the company has. So before meeting anybody, make sure that you note down what it is that you expect from each and every of the persons that you have to speak with. And don't just limit yourself to hard targets, as in customer satisfaction, sales targets, production errors, and all these things. You also have to look at what people skill do you expect. Do you expect them to be a positive influence on other people in the organization? Do you expect the people to be a cultural bearer, so to create these new cultures, or to be a good colleague? These are your expectations as well for your department, for your team. And you need to make yourself clear about this before meeting anybody. Once you've done this, I would also suggest that you look at the actual numbers, that you look at the actual employee's performance against everything around that human being. So you prepare very well for this. The better you are prepared, the less of a nightmare this discussion is going to be. And the more both of you will enjoy it, and the more both of you will grow from it. And I'm saying both of you because, yeah, it's an employee annual performance appraisal, but it is still a teamwork. So it's the employee and you. So you should also, as a preparation, ask your team colleagues to prepare what they would like to change in your management style. And you should be open enough to listen to it, because how else would you grow if the people that you're working with on a daily basis, if they're not the right people to tell you how to perform even better? Who is? Nobody. So ask them to prepare to give you feedback as well. Constructive feedback. How can we improve the way that we work together? That is my main point. Don't wing this. Don't think, yeah, I'll just have a talk and listen what they have to say and look at some numbers. No, don't wing this conversation. Make sure that you prepare for it. There are many reasons for you to prepare. First of all, it will make you look so much more professional in the eyes of the employee. Second of all, you'll make the performance appraisal or review much more enjoyable because you know what you want to say, you know what you want to have out of this discussion. Second of all, ask your team members, your employees to prepare as well. Benefits for them are the same. The more they prepare, the more value you will get out of this conversation. And then of course you have the bad news, because you may have employees who are underperformers, and what you're going to do then? Well, you have to address it. You cannot not talk about it. And underperformers can be many things. Of course, it can be not reaching the hard targets that are set, but it can also be not being a good colleague, instilling the wrong culture, talking bad about others, gossiping, all the things that you don't like. But you have to address it. And how do you do this? I would like to tell you about the burger method. And this is how I would suggest you plan giving negative feedback. The burger method is a 3-layer feedback technique. You basically have the bun of this burger, which is positive. So when you want to give this feedback, start with some positive comments. What are the employee doing good? What are you happy about? What is working really well? Then the meat of the burger is what you really want to say. And this is where you'll say, but I feel we need to improve this. And 2 things here. First of all, don't do it as a direct criticism in the sense that you're not good enough at this. I want you to do, or you suck at this. Don't do this, right? You will need to do it as a constructive feedback, saying, you know what? I've noticed that you spend a lot of time during the breaks talking about your colleagues. And you know, in my world, I feel that if you talk about other people, they should be present. So can we work on this? Would you mind calling the people that you talk about next time so you get an open discussion? I think this is more fair. This is more constructive in the way that you give feedback. And then the top of the burger is another positive thing where you end up by saying, and by the way, I feel that you are perfectly doing well on all these areas. So giving negative feedback, use the burger method, I would suggest. During the conversation and before the conversation, please do this. Turn off the phone, close your computer, sit somewhere else where there is nothing to disturb you. Give yourself and your colleague that respect to actually listen to what they're saying, to actually make sure that they hear the feedback that you're giving. Your meeting will probably even be shorter because you'll be much more focused and intense, and you'll come across more professional. Trust me on this one. And whatever you discuss during this evaluation discussion, make sure that you note down all the negative and the positive things. Make sure that you note down what is it that this person is doing fantastically great already, and how can you get even more of that? What things would you say that this person should improve, which means that what things are important for their job role, and they're doing it, but maybe they can do even stronger. And then are there things around them or in their job that you would suggest that they should stop doing? This could also be stop doing tasks that are not directly related to their job. And this is why you need a job description. I hope you have this for all your employees. So you can say, yeah, I know you're helping here, but to be honest, this is not your job. And I need you over here because this is where you excel. So I would suggest stop doing that. Note it down step by step by step. Agree with your colleague. These are the things that we agree on. And this is how we want you to strengthen these things that you are fantastic at. This is how we want you to grow in the things that are important for your job and then you need to do more of. And these things we decided, let's stop it. And after this, go through the list with your employee and say, yes, I agree, directly after the meeting. Either you or your employee should note this down in a document and sign it. Both of you should sign it. This is what we agreed on. This is how we are performing. This is how we think things are going and how we want to progress it next year. At the same time, make sure that you make this, I'm sorry about the noises, but this little one, she's not stopping crying before she's sleeping with me. So now she can sleep and I can talk, right? Okay, I can talk. Thank you. Make the list actionable. So make a plan for the things that you want to improve and write down, to improve this, I need to do this, and this. And these tasks are depending on each other. And by that date, I can have finished this. And then I need to do this, which can be done by this date. Write it down, sign it off, and make both of you accountable for getting it done. This is how you grow yourself. This is how you grow your team. Personally, I love sitting with competent people, having a discussion. How can we do things even better on a personal level? Because if you do this the right way, then I would guarantee you, we all want to grow. We all want to be better. So if you have somebody telling you in a good way, you know what, I think you could be even stronger if you did this and this, or have you thought about this? I would love to hear it. Same for you now. I would love to hear what you think of my videos. So if you dare, let me know in the comments, or do as many of you are already doing, send me personal messages. I'd love to hear from you. It's fantastic. We can all grow. I want to grow. I want you to grow. This is the purpose of this channel anyway. I hope you liked it, and she hope you liked it also. Give it a big like, a super like if you did, and if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much. Happy you are back. Make sure that your little notification bell is turned on so you get a notice every time I post a new video. And until next time, take care and thanks for watching. Goodbye.